Hey, Airsofters, here we go. Your questions answered. Now, like you just saw on the screen, it will only be the most popular questions that I will be answering, but I also decided to include questions that are really interesting that most other people didn't think about asking. Now, obviously and naturally, I got some really rude personal questions. I just ignored those. But anything to do with Airsoft, anything to do with this channel, and to a certain extent, anything to do with my life, I'll answer them right now and I'll show you the questions that came up. Now, if you don't see your question on screen, the probability is that question was asked a number of times and I've just chosen one particular person to show their question on screen, but it will answer your question. You see what I'm saying? Good. Let's do this. Oh, and if your question is funny, I may even include that too. Here we go. How much in total have you or think you have spent on Airsoft products? Right, so if you mean all my Airsoft guns, all my gear, including cases, display cases, accessories, add-ons, and boy, just over £20,000. Now, before you think I'm crazy, okay, do remember this is over a period of about 2 years that I've spent this sort of money. So, you know, it's a hobby that I love. What first got you into Airsoft? Before I answer that, your display picture, man, your DP. Anyway, well, I remembered a little while ago, I was looking on YouTube, I was searching for certain things, I can't remember exactly what, but I stumbled across a channel called Pippin. Pippin Airsoft videos sort of thing, yeah? So I was looking at this channel and then I saw what looked like a real life version of Call of Duty or Grand Theft Auto. And I thought, oh wow, this looks cool. And look, they're using BB guns. And then later on I learned it's called Airsoft, and here I am today. So yes, you can blame Pippin if you think I'm extremely annoying. His video, not his fault, but his video introduced me to Airsoft. What was your first Airsoft gun? Well, my first Airsoft gas blowback pistol was a WeTech. I know, the WeTech G18C, the one with the sort of candy red slide, because I didn't have Yukara back then. My first AEG was a Umarex. It was a Umarex G36. What would be your favorite assault rifle and pistol? Ah, that's a good question, and it's also a tough question, because if you had asked me that 2 months ago, I would have said my actual primary, which is the G&P M7A1B SOCOM gear. If you're wondering what the hell that is, there's a link down in the video description for one of my reviews of that primary. However, I'm getting something delivered to me in the next couple of weeks or so, and I've got a funny feeling that may just take over as being my favorite assault weapon or my favorite primary. Now, when it comes to pistols, oh my gosh, that is such a wide open question because I've got so many different Airsoft pistols, as most of you know who know my channel. A lot of them have their own merits that make them my favorite, okay? So if we're gonna talk about all round, good, precise, reliable, then it has to be my Toka Marui FN57. That thing is a beast. But if it comes to tacticalness, okay, how it looks, and just everything about the pistol overall, apart from what it's made out of externally, then my favorite right now is my Toka Marui Resident Evil Samurai Edge Albert W Model 01 Biohazard. Anyway, you get the point. However, just before I move on to the next question, if we're talking about a metal Airsoft pistol that looks badass, that looks really good and really reminds me of the real thing, it has to be my HK3P Glock 17. Hashtag there's no such thing as an Airsoft Glock. But that is my favorite for the realness of it in terms of looks. Next question. Hello from Spain. What is your opinion? You prefer Glock or Colt? That's easy. Glock. How many guns do you have in total? Not that many actually, only about 104. About 104 Airsoft guns. I used to keep them at my home, but the collection was getting so big and it keeps growing. I was running out of wall space and rack space and all sorts of space. So now they've all been moved out apart from one or two that I keep at my home. So when I go gameplay, I don't need to go to the studio. But yeah, they're all out in a studio within a film company's premises. Now there's your clue about my other little job that I do. And I'll let you know a little bit more about that because there's another question coming up later on which will cover that. Next, Mike, light side or dark side? The dark side. I have 2 questions. 3 questions. First question, who is the man behind the mask? Second question, how much Airsoft replicas do you have? Last question, can you answer this question in German? I know you can do it. Krankenwagen. Oh, come on, that's not fair. I can't speak German. I know 1 or 2 words in German. But anyway, where's my phone? Der Mann hinter der... do you know what? I can't do this.
Der Mann hinter der Maske wird sich bald zeigen.
And the answer to your other question about how many replicas do I have, I've already answered that. Thank you, BB2K Airsoft. How can you afford to buy all these guns? It's simple, really. I have a job. I have a career. I have more than one interest in life that makes me money. YouTube and airsofting is just a hobby that I love. But apart from my job and career and other interests in life, I have to be honest with you. The money that I make from YouTube now pays for most of my airsoft gear and guns that I buy. Where do you get most of your airsoft Glocks from? Well, I get them from many different airsoft retailers, all of which are in the UK. So basically in the past, I've bought from Mil-Spec Solutions, I've bought from Bomb Up Airsoft, I've bought from Patrol Base, I've bought from Extreme BB Guns, I've bought from BB Guns for Less, I've bought from 01 Airsoft, I've bought from Airsoft World, I've bought from Land Warrior Airsoft, I've bought from many different places, but not always directly myself. I have an associate that sometimes orders on my behalf. Oh, and on the odd occasion, I will purchase from Gunfire PL. That's a Polish airsoft retailer. What's the best airsoft AEG for a noob? So that's a good question. What's the best AEG for a new person starting out in airsoft? Well, I would say G&G Combat Machine. Next. My question is, what's your day job? Because no way in can any normal man afford all these guns. I get what you mean. Anyway, my answer, well, as I've hinted at before, obviously, YouTube, airsoft is not my job. Yes, it pays me money, but it's not my day job. I have more than one other day jobs, as it were, inverted commas. One of them being a film company that I do work for. So yes, I keep getting people saying, what's your other channel with all these movies and films? No, I did not once say I have another YouTube channel that shows my films. No, when I say film company that I do work for, I'm talking proper film studios that I do a little work for. For example, in the past, I've done projects for Sony Pictures and things like that, okay? So they're not actual little movies that I do on YouTube. They're actual proper film companies that puts out movies in your cinemas. Okay, that's one of my other little things I do outside of YouTube. I do have another career, which unfortunately I can't go into for security reasons, but be assured, YouTube is not my main money, okay? YouTube is just my pocket money, okay? And I'm not sure what you mean by no way can any normal man afford all that. Yes, we all know I'm not normal, but of course any normal man can have all these things. Come on. If you put your mind to it, save up a little money, you know, and it depends what job you got as well. A normal man can have a well-paid job. Yeah, so that's my answer to that. Thanks for your question, Jamie. Now next. What is your favourite AEG and also your favourite superhero? I love the way people write sometimes. I know what you mean. What is your favourite AEG and also your favourite superhero? Well, I've already answered the first part of your question, so the second part of your question, Superman. Can I buy an airsoft gun with a shotgun license in the UK? Love the channel, BTW, by the way. No, you can't. You still need a valid defence or a UCARA or part of the British Airsoft Club, or you could just buy a two-tone one. Or you can go to my website airsoftmike.co.uk to read up about airsoft law in the UK. Can I have one? No. Do you belong to any team and would you join one? Well, no, I don't belong to any team. Would I join one right now? No. Would I join one in the future? Yes. Will you ever show us your face? Yes. If you could only have one airsoft gun for the rest of your life, which one? It's coming in a couple of weeks. Wound you do any reviews on Sci-Fi weapon reviews, suckle as the MA5... Sorry, let me start again. Would you do any reviews on sci-fi weapon reviews, such as the MA5B from Halo or the M4 model from Mass Effect? Yes, 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 yes. I love futuristic airsoft guns, so there will be more of those coming soon to this channel. But you know what? I've also noticed I'm a huge fan of World War II guns. Or should I say, airsoft guns. Or any old-fashioned airsoft weapons that are based on the real steel from many a year ago. I've just realised I've developed such a love for them. And guess what? My next airsoft gun review is one of them old-fashioned type airsoft guns, and that's coming in a couple of days. But in a couple of weeks' time, there's going to be a really modern looking... Anyway, I keep saying that. Next! Where did you get those awesome... I know what you mean. Where did you get those awesome tiny little guns? LOL, I want one. Well, those little guns, as I mentioned before, they're like little lighters and little mini props, and they don't shoot or fire anything, but I got those off of eBay. Please can you show all of your airsoft guns? Well, as you know, those of you that know my channel, I do periodically do a airsoft gun wall or airsoft armory update. My last one was in 2016, so I guess I am due another, and I will do so at some point this year. What are the movies and other videos you make? Well, I kind of answered that before, but to be more specific, one of the movies that I was involved in the making of was Colombiana. I will say no more about that. What gun do you hate the most out of your collection? My APS ACP CO2 Airsoft Action Combat Pistol Multicam. Looks badass! Sorry, looks really cool, but it has never worked correctly. Next, what is the smallest, cheapest, largest and most expensive 6mm airsoft you have? What a great question. The smallest, my Shogun's tactical 20mm grenade launcher. The cheapest, the AGM Short 003 airsoft shotgun. Comes in at just under £20 and not far short of $20. The largest, well, that would be my PPS M9A1 airsoft bazooka. The most expensive, well, that will be this. The GBLS Daz. Even though I didn't pay for this was sent to me for nothing, but boy do I have an update on this coming soon and you will be shocked. Enough said on that. Next! Will you do more gameplay video? Yes. What advice would you give someone who's only just starting and going to his first airsoft game weekend, and what should I take with me? Great question. My answer is nothing. Yes, you heard me, nothing. Ha, you're probably shocked because my advice would always be to someone going for the very first time, hire everything, okay? So, if you've got face protection, eye protection, and all that sort of stuff already, and it's good quality stuff, then fine, you can bring that. But I would suggest you hire everything at the game site that you're going to, and that includes, and most importantly, your guns, your airsoft guns. Don't go and buy an airsoft gun for your first game. Hire one at the site where you're going. Hire everything, because you may not like it. When I say you may not like it, you may not like the gun. Yeah? So you could go out there and buy something you may have seen reviewed on my channel or any other channel, and you might think it's too heavy to be lugging around. You might think it's too small, it's too big. For your first couple of games or so, hire your airsoft gun, hire your gear, your equipment, and then after that, you'll get a good idea of what you would probably want to use or take with you to an airsoft game. Great question. Oh, and just to add, when I said you might not even like it, that's not just the actual guns or the equipment or the iPro, FacePro. It could be airsoft gameplay itself. You may enjoy watching it on YouTube, but when you go to play for yourself, you might hate it. I can't see why, but you never know. So just hire. And at the end of this video, you'll see a little prompt on the screen if you'd like to see some of my gameplay videos where I go to different sites and I play Airsoft. Because some people think I don't actually play. I do. I don't always film it, and I should really start putting up a lot more, but that's not really what my channel's about. But if you ask for it, you'll get it, and it will soon start to come. But my channel's more about unboxings and all other sorts of nonsense. Anyway, next! What is better? Spring shotguns or see? I know what you mean. Anyway, shotguns. I'm really not the best person to ask because I will always say green gas shotguns because I'm so biased towards green gas. The reason being, most people know that green gas contains silicon oil in it. So when you're using your airsoft guns and you're using green gas, to a certain degree, it's lubricating the internals of your guns. What's your life like outside of airsoft? Well, pull up a chair, grab a drink, and listen. Basically, my life outside of airsoft is nothing like my life on screen on YouTube. Believe it or not, I am not this outgoing, stupid, annoying, lively sort of character that you might see on screen. I'm more reserved. Okay, I really am more reserved. If I go gameplay, yes, I'll have fun and I'll have a laugh with people and whatever. However, I really just enjoy chilling at home in my movie cinema room thing that I've got set up at home, watching movies on my big screen, playing video games. I'm really not that outgoing type. Sometimes I jump in my car, go for a drive. I hate shopping. I hate going into shops. I prefer to do everything online when it comes to shopping. You see, I don't want to tell you too much because it's like too personal. But yeah, I'm just like, when I'm off camera, I'm just so normal. Believe it or not, so normal. Some of my friends will say, no, you're not. You're not normal at all, mate. Anyway, I'm just like regular. Believe it or not, I know you're going to find this hard to believe. I'm normal. Off screen, I'm just so normal. I'd go as far as saying I'm boring. No, that's a bit too harsh. I'd go as far as saying just a regular dude, just a regular guy. Thank you, Pretzel Boy. I know your other YouTube channel. I know who you are. Anyway, that's the Q&A for today. Listen, if your question didn't appear on screen and you feel hard done by, don't worry, there will be another Q&A. And you know what I'm going to do? I will look over them again and I could very well include them in the next Q&A. Now, don't expect this every Monday. This is not Airsoftology Mondays. I am nowhere near as good as him. He's the pro when it comes to Q&As. I just do this once in a while, okay? And yeah, thank you. And I'll be doing another Airsoft unboxing within a matter of a day or two. Stay tuned and catch me next time on Mike's Tech and Toys, or maybe even on this channel, Airsoft Mike.